Today we're going to do less is more. At Wunderbar Studios, often that means we're doing a smaller range of movement to find the depth of the work together. So let's get started. We're going to start with a shallow roll down. You don't have to do a great big range of movement to find a lot of deep abdominal connections. So you're going to lay down on your mat, arms float straight up to the sky. I like to think about a beach towel lengthening my spine as I peel up the head, neck, and shoulders just about to the shoulder blades. From here, we can lengthen down. Notice that there's a lot of reach as I lower down, and then rise up. I'm shaking on the first one. I hope that you are too. This is how we find that really intense effort, lengthening through the body, creating those long lean lines, and finding the deep abdominals rather than just the surface. I like to inhale as I rise. That again helps to create length in the body, lengthen the spine. Exhale to lower down. Really thinking about a reach, almost like a hammock, lengthening through the crown of the head as you peel up, and then lowering back down with control. Something else to notice is that there's no wrinkles being added to the front of my outfit or your t-shirt that you're wearing. You want to make sure you find that length as you reach and roll. We're going to do 4 more of these, maintaining a neutral pelvis with lots of length on all sides of the spine. This is the last 2. We're going to go right into a plank next. And with control, set the last one down. We're going to roll into a plank on our hands and our feet. Hands are shoulder width distance on the mat, and feet are 4 inches apart, parallel on the mat. This is a move that so many exercise modalities use because it's so gosh darn effective and just a really great sculpting exercise head to toe. You don't always have to get real fancy with the variations you're doing, but you want to keep your alignment and your breath in focus. So on the inhale, I like to think about broadening the collarbones, lifting off of the wrists, and adding breath to the elbows to make sure we're not locking out in the joints. That inhale breath also adds length from the tailbone through the crown of the head. And the exhale helps me to draw the navel up and in between the shoulder blades. It's already a good challenge just to hold it here. If this is aggressive for you, you can always choose to bring your knees down and hold the plank for the same time that we're doing it on our hands and our toes. We're going to do 8 more seconds together. This is 6. Find that length in your breath. Last 2, and bring the knees down 1 at a time. Straight away, we're going to rise onto our feet and go into a plie in first position. This is all about accessing your deep abdominals while we're doing standing work. So we're having our feet in first position, heels touching, toes turned out. And the idea here is not to change your height while you bend your knees. Now, straight away, I'm feeling my abs draw up as the legs bend. And then I'm finding that long connection from the inner thighs to the abs as the legs extend. So we want to think about that lift, that oppositional reach as you lengthen and don't allow your height to change. So if we bend the knees, you can still find that ab connection, but if you don't change your height while you're doing that, you're going to feel that lift and that deep core work as you are working through the legs, toning the legs and the seat. We're going to do 4 more of these and go right into a low lunge. Those inner thighs spiral forward as the abs draw up. Drawing the tailbone long. This is 2. This is our last one. And bring it up. We're going to go into a low lunge on the right side. So the right foot comes forward and the left leg goes down behind you. Straight away, we want to make sure that we have the knee in front of the ankle crease and aligned with our big toe, second toe. We want to aim for a neutral pelvis where we have a natural curve to the low back and we have our hip bones shining straight forward. The idea here is to inhale and lift, just hovering that left knee off the floor by the inner thighs narrowing, and then exhale, set it back down. It's counterintuitive, but the lower you stay, the more intense the effort's going to be shared with the core, the glutes, the hamstrings, quads, your entire body working synergistically, working together to lower and raise you rather than just a push from the foot or a loading into the glutes. Those are certainly working, but they're not the only ones invited. Little lift on an inhale, exhaling down. I really like to think about the upper inner thighs narrowing to pick the knee up rather than just the glutes or the back side of the right leg, lowering and raising. We're going to go for 2 more here. This is our last one. Inhaling to lift, exhale to lower down, and bring both knees down. Next, we're going to go into a mermaid glam pulse. So we're going to sit on our left hip, left knee is bent and right leg is bent behind us. You can use your hand on the floor for support, or you can have your arms out for more core connection. From here, we're going to think about this thigh bone, your femur bone, and it's going to swivel forward just once to kind of understand that range of movement. You'll notice the right sitting bone is anchored down, and then we're going to reach back once. This knee is up and the foot is aligned with that knee, big toe, second toe. And now we're going to go for a glam line pulse. That's what we call the area where the glutes and the hamstrings meet. So it's that smile line right under your tush, and we're just reaching back. It's a really small range of movement, and it's really wicked. So it's hard for me too if you're feeling it hard on your end. It is really not an easy thing to do, to hold this balance. Again, you can always give yourself some support on the ground if you would like that. The arms out or the arms up is going to increase the cardio effort. While we're holding, the core is working like crazy to keep us upright as we crease at the glam line to send the leg back. The temptation is going to be for the toes to drop. Really try to aim to keep that leg parallel and everything aligned as we work. It's not easy, so go ahead and give yourself some grace if you're working towards that. We're going to lift as tall as we can rather than trying to hunker down into that pose. Lengthen and reach both sides of the waistline. We have 3 more. This is 2. And this is going to be the last one. All right. Now we're going to go into a TA hover hold. What the heck does that mean? That means our transverse abdominis. It's a really deep layer of our abdominal muscles close to the spine, and we can find it pretty easily by having our feet down on the mat, hands are shoulder width again. First thing that's going to happen is going to nod the chin and round the spine. So it's a shallow curl, kind of like we started the workout. I'm not going into a full round back like this. It's a shallow curl, and now I'm visualizing a hammock under my spine as I exhale and hover the knees off of the mat. And then we're going to go ahead and set them back down. So you'll notice that you can feel a deep connection to the abs as you exhale and float the knees up and off of the mat and back down. It doesn't feel like a bracing or a gripping. It feels like an internal lift. You can play around with it. Maybe try it with an inhale and see where you find it better in your body on an exhale or an inhale to lift. But the idea is we're really thinking about a lift with ease from deep inside the body rather than a gripping or a pushing up off of the floor. Let's do 3 more here. You can also, for more challenge, choose to hold that hover longer than I'm showing. You can hold the hover for several seconds and see if you can find a deep connection without gripping. This is going to be the last one. We're going to go into a crisscross. And bring the knees all the way down. We're going to do this crisscross in a hold. Again, we're after less is more today, so we're not going to do great big ranges of movement. We're going to lay all the way down on our back. Arms float up off the mat as we lengthen the head into a shallow curl, just like we started the workout today. We're going to float the left leg into tabletop position and reach the right leg long to hover off the mat. From there, we're going to rotate and peel the right shoulder blade up and off of the mat. The idea is to get the right rib reaching towards the left inner thigh. That's an inhale. Exhale to unwind. Inhale, we're going to rotate the torso, the right shoulder blade peels up. Exhale to unwind. So if you can manage it, keep the head up the whole time and the shoulder blades lifted the whole time. If you're looking for a modification, you can also allow your body to lower down in between and then raise back up. So either way works. The idea is to keep the range of movement small and focused as we narrow the waistline and elongate the front side of the abdomen. One more like this. And bring it all the way down, unfold the left leg, and we're going to rise up into a plank. From here, we're going to take the left forearm down onto the mat. Left foot is in front of the right. I like my right hand on the hip. It just helps me to stay organized as I rise into that side plank. And from here, we're going to do a little lift and reach up. So the idea is not to travel a great big range of distance. It's not about how far the hips go up. It's more about how long they reach away from the crown of the head. It can be real tempting to look at the world straight up and down while we're in this pose, but we want to keep our head in line with our spine to really help to support the neck while we're working. If that feels aggressive, you can even choose to gaze down towards the floor a little bit as we do the little lifts. We're going to do 3 more here. This is 2. And our last one. Lay down on your back again. We're going to go into a bridge hold with small hip pulses at the top. Something I like to talk about in bridge work is that it's not all about the hamstrings. The arms can be actively imprinting into your mat. I have my feet 4 inches apart and parallel. I'm going to think about the power of the glutes, the middle back, and the arms working with the hamstrings to pick the body up into the top of your best bridge. Kneecaps are reaching long. The soles of the feet have heavy weight across the entire soles of the feet. Inner thighs are spiraling up towards the top of the wall behind you, and the glutes are helping to keep the pelvis lifted into the bridge position. From here, what I'm going to ask for is just a small lower. You can think about a little crease on the front side of the hips, and then think about the power of the glutes working with the hamstrings, the inner thighs, the middle back, and the abdomen to bring the body back up. So it's a very small range of movement. We don't want to touch the floor here. We're just finding length in the body as we're connecting to more than just the hamstring. So if you normally feel a real hamstring grip or cramp in a bridge position, I'm gonna bet you $10 that you're giving all the work away to the hamstrings. So really think about the arms actively imprinting to activate the middle back. Think about the ribs narrowing around the spine to connect to the abdomen. Find heavy weight on all 4 corners of the feet and recruit the glutes to help move the pelvis down and up. We're going to go into 2 more of these little lift and lower. And then we're going to go into a downhill ski jump. This is the last one. And with control, hinge your body all the way back down to the mat. We're going to go into a downhill ski jump. And the idea of the small range of movement here is that, again, it doesn't take much to find the waistline. So when we're in studio, we do this on a jump board on our machine. So at home, we do it on the mat. As the legs extend, as if I was jumping off a jump board, I'm allowing the femurs to rotate while the pelvis stays quiet, and then we center it out. And then we're going to tip the knees the other way. The femur bones are rotating like doorknobs through a door. We're rotating side to side. This really gets into deep waistline activation, and that TA we found earlier, it really helps us to find that connection to the deep abdominals. So on the way in, the inner thighs and the belly are talking, and on the way out, the hamstrings and the belly are talking. So everyone's working together to move the legs. It's not just about a leg move, and it's not about making a great big shift side to side. We want to keep the pelvis as quiet as possible as we do that rotation. We're going to do 2 more on each side, finding lots of length. Last 2. And this is the last one to the right. And we're going into an archetypal squat. Come on up. And we're going to go into a very low squat. If your body doesn't get that close to the floor, keep working on it and get as low as you can to help improve mobility and flexibility through the hips. So we're going to step into a wide turned out position. And the idea is to get as low to the floor as you can for this archetypal posture squat. So I really like to use my elbows to help me stay connected and as upright as possible as well. We don't want to round forward and hold it like this. We want to keep a nice long spine, broad collarbones, and ideally your feet flat. You might find that your heels peel up as you go this low, but to increase ankle function and knee function, we want to try to keep the feet flat. So we can hold here. We can also do a few raises all the way back up just to kind of give a little relief to the hips if that's feeling aggressive to you, and lower back down when you're ready. I'm gonna hold for the rest of the time to really challenge the flexibility and strength of the hips and the core. But if you need to float up or down, feel free to do that at any time. We're gonna hold for about 10 more seconds if you're down here with me. We're breathing, finding lots of length. We're going into a side plank in 3, 2, and bring it all the way back up to the top. We're now gonna go onto our right forearm. The right foot is in front of the left, and we're gonna do those little hip hikes on the other side. Left hand can come onto the hip, and we're lengthening the body all the way out. Again, head is in line with the spine, and we're gonna lengthen and reach. So it's not about how high the hips hike, it is about how long you can reach your spine while you are working. Inhale as you lengthen and reach. Exhale, return to your best diagonal. We want to watch that we don't allow the hips to drop down in between each set. We want to start at this diagonal and move from there. We have 4 more. This is the last one. And we're going to go into that crisscross on the other side. So again, we lay on our back. We're going to find that shallow curl by floating the head long off the floor. We're going to bend the right knee this time, bend the right knee, and the left leg reaches long off of the mat. From here now, the lowest left rib is going to rotate towards the right inner thigh and back through center. Inhale as you rotate and pick it up. Exhale as we unwind. Small range of movement, really long spine. It's not about crunching and shortening the front body. It's about lengthening and rotating. Inhale as you rotate. Exhale to unwind. Again, it's always an option to set your head down between each rotation if that feels better to you today. Pay attention to your body. We're going to go for 3 more here. This is 2. And our last one. Let's go into our mermaid glam line pulses on the other side. So we're going to sit on the right hip this time. The left leg is folded behind us. Again, your hand can be on the ground, or you can float your arms out for additional cardio effort. All right, let's go ahead and do one where we sweep the leg forward, the femur head rotates through the hip socket, and then we're going to reach the leg back and hold because it's so much fun. Now that glam line pulse is what we're after. So we don't want to feel any kind of a kick back. We want to find length and reach, and just really aiming to crease at that smile line under your seat. So it's a little tiny crease back, lifting as tall as you can. We want to aim for lots of length the whole time on both sides of the waistline. Sometimes we can shorten the top waistline while we're doing this because the leg is lifted. So let's really reach for that length and lightness through the body the whole time, even in very small ranges of movement. We're going to do 2 more like this, and then we've got the low lunge with our left leg forward, and allow the left leg to return to the mat. Come onto your knees. Right knee is going to stay down, and left knee steps in front of you. Again, we want a level pelvis, so try not to let that left hip hike up. Keep things level. Knees in front of the ankle crease. And from here now, the upper inner thighs narrow as we inhale, hover off the floor by a few inches, and allow it to float back down. So we really want to find that lift in the core. I like to think about the ribs lifting off of the pelvis, and that helps me find the lightness of the move rather than just doing a push from the ground up. I like to think of a lift from the top up, lengthening as we raise, exhaling to lower down. We have 3 more here. Upper inner thighs should really be on fire, efforting with your glutes and hamstrings and quads. This is 2. And this is going to be the last one. And bring it all the way up. We're going to stand and go into a squat with gait. So I'm going to bring the legs into a closed parallel position. When you go into a squat, try to think about the crease at the front side of the hips happening to allow your pelvis to tip back behind you and your torso to tip forward. Knees are magnetized in this orientation, and the gait is a fancy Pilates way of saying walk. So we're after mobility of the ankle joints, which helps the knees, hips, and spine. So right now you can see that I'm all the way up onto the toes. And then with intention, I'm gonna imprint that heel back down as if I could send it through the floor, send the bones through the floor, and then pick the left heel all the way up. So the idea is, again, to mobilize the ankles while we're working, holding that squat to help fire up the deep core, leg, and booty work. And if you're up for the balance challenge, you can also see if you can pass the heels mid-air rather than waiting for one to come all the way down. Even when the heels are up, see if you can send your heels through maybe a stack of imaginary marshmallows while we're working, imprinting down. The bones go down through the floor as the heels touch down, as your muscles draw up in opposition. We're gonna go into 4 more here, magnetizing the outer thighs, finding length from the tailbone through the crown of the head. This is the last one on the left, and the last one on the right. Both heels come down, inhale and rise up. Let's come onto our hands and knees at the front side of our mat, and we're gonna go into a bear crawl. So the idea here is to really get the body connected, working as a whole. So I'm gonna ask you to pick up your left knee and your right hand at the same time. It's harder than it sounds. And the idea is we're gonna send them both back a few inches and try to set them down at the same time. Left hand, right knee, walking back. So now we're traveling on the mat a little bit, picking up and sending back. Now, as we're lifting the hand and the knee, the opposite hand and knee, we wanna keep the pelvis quiet and the torso quiet. That's where some really sincere core work comes into play as we challenge our body to stay controlled and organized while we move. I'm gonna bring the left hand and the right knee back so everything's lined up, and now we're gonna walk back to where we started. Right hand, left knee come forward. Left hand, right knee come forward. So we really wanna keep the pelvis quiet, and we really wanna find that connection in that diagonal swing, opposite shoulder to opposite hip, to see if we can control that effort as we're moving back and forth. And finish at the top of the mat. We're gonna go into our last move of the day. It's gonna be a forearm plank with fascial flossing. So that means our hands are gonna come down, our forearms come down, and we step back with feet 4 inches apart parallel. We're gonna find our best plank, finding lots of length here. And just like when we did those pliés with not changing our height while we were bending the knees, we're gonna bend one knee at a time without changing where our heel is in space and without dropping the hips or the pelvis. So we are actually lubricating the fascia in the body, which holds the bones, skin, muscles, and tissue together. So even if our muscles are nice and elongated, if we have tight fascia, everything's gonna feel really bound up, and it's just not good for overall health and function of the body. So it's a really great idea to work in some fascial flossing anytime you're doing a workout. So it's a real small range of movement, but real important. Let's do 1 more each side. Legs are long, knees come down, and bring it all the way in. We're gonna finish with a roll down. I really like this as a start or end to my day or a workout. So bring your feet 4 inches apart and parallel. We're gonna start with the hands up and overhead, nodding the chin, rounding the spine, thinking about lifting, almost like that TA lift we did earlier. As we lower down, hands can reach to the floor or to the shins, whatever works better for you today. You can give your knees a little bend, do a little fascial flossing here. Again, both knees at the same time. Walk your hands to your shins. As we come upright, think about bringing space and breath in between the knee joints, in between the pelvis, in between the vertebra of the spine. Opening the heart up towards the sky as we extend the spine. The navel is still drawn up and in. And with intention, imprint your arms to the sides as you draw your navel up and in. Great work, you guys. I hope you found more by doing less.